So hello, we are backstage at the Melbourne Auditorium, and this, believe it or not, is the cast. Hello, wave, hello, hi. Of Jealousy Jane, and they, you guys are from, what high school are you from? Liberty High.
Liberty High.
Yes. And so you guys are high school. This is a middle school conference, but you are a high school and you performed at your districts, and you were invited to come and be the feature performance at the Florida State Junior Thespian Conference, which I think is a great honor. Congratulations.
Thank you.
So the first thing I have to, we're going to talk about dramatic interpretation, because the first thing we need to talk about is the fact that how many are originally listed in the cast of Jealousy Jane? How many? Tell me.
32?
No, there are
When she wrote it.
there are 5.
Yes, 5. Okay.
And what we have is this wondrful not 5 group. And you guys did it in a very specific way. Someone explain what's the whole theme, the genesis behind this? Yeah.
Well, basically everything is morphed into a cartoon, so everything that's smaller in someone's head becomes bigger. And I think when we first got the concept, it was really hard to grasp, because it's like, how do you become a cartoon? You know, how do you step into the TV and become something that children watch?
Absolutely.
I think that once we did that and we saw the smiles on the children's faces, I think that's when we lit up and that's when we became our characters.
Hey, tell me, those of you, tell me some of the things you did, because it's a very physical thing, this cartoon. So what were some of the things you did in rehearsal to get that?
I remember one of the things that I guess I did to get in character was just to think big times 10. Thinking big, kind of like, how would I explain? Like, instead of, you know, just like walking becomes bigger strides.
Well, give me, who's Jane? You guys have taken off your costume, so I don't know who everybody is. Who's Jane? Hello, Jane. Wonderful job. So when you guys do a gesture, it's not just this, right? It's boom, boom. Do that for me. Do a do. Yeah! Just like that. What have your audience responses have been? Yes, please.
I felt that our audience has been very responsive.
Yeah.
For example, we performed for a ton of elementary kids.
Yeah.
And they loved it. They ate up every aspect of the show: the colors, the cartoons, the facial expressions, the gestures, and even the more mature audiences, like the adults, they loved it as well. So I felt like we executed it really well, and that the cartoon vision of the show was very, very obscure and very, very well done. And I felt like they received it well, and they loved how we just brought our director's imagination to life.
Yeah. Hey.
Okay, so like going on back with what Kyle said, I kind of want to provide like an example for the eyeball scene, which unfortunately didn't work out today.
Yeah.
But I remember the first time we did it for the elementary school students, you could hear the little kids, oh my god, go away, you're not supposed to be here. And it was the cutest thing, and I think that it made it all worthwhile.
Yeah.
It's just a huge reaction.
You know, I'll tell you, my favorite audience reaction tonight was that you knew you had them when Jane brought out the lunch pail and went like that. What? Actually, I'm doing it behind there. Yes, went like that. That's all she did. That's when you knew you had them. Yes. Yes.
What I really liked about the show and performing the show is that it's a very interactive show.
Yeah.
You know, you see a lot of serious shows and a lot of comedic shows, and it's more like, you know, you just make the audience laugh or cry. But I felt like we had a lot of moments where when we did something, like when Jane held up the lunchbox and she did the acknowledgement nod, you know, the audience laughed. And during the dance, you could hear people shouting at us like, "You go, girl!" And, look at that.
Well, I have to tell you, the reason I do theater is because I kind of think that it's a circle. It's a very cyclical thing. What comes out from the audience, or from the stage, goes out to the audience responds, and that energy comes back, and it's a never-ending circle that you don't get anywhere else. So I have to say that really congratulations for really embodying what theater means to me. Not only bringing my script to life, but bringing it to life in this wonderfully theatrical. This is what theater should be, right? Theater must be theatrical, and also theater must take a chance, right? Yes. You know, there was, you know, could not have worked. And that is really important. We don't take enough chances with our arts, with our life. It's true. And so that's what I was saying. Anyone have any last moments of Jealousy Jane? Yes.
I think as the final thing of my senior year, and all the seniors that are here, and even the juniors and the sophomores, I think it was the final cherry on top of everything. It's a big experience, and we've done it so many times, it's become a part of it.
All right, go Jealousy Jane! Woo!